Hey, if you're listening to this right now, there's a pretty good chance your day is over. Or at least you're trying to convince yourself that it is. Maybe you're already in bed. Maybe you're curled up on the couch. Maybe you're scrolling through videos because your brain isn't quite ready to be quiet yet. Whatever brought you here tonight, I'm glad you're here. Not because you need to be productive, not because you need to learn something, not because you need advice, just because sometimes it's nice to hear another voice in the room, especially on the days that feel a little heavier than usual. Maybe today wasn't even a terrible day. Sometimes the hardest days aren't the dramatic ones, they're the ordinary ones. The days where you wake up, do what you're supposed to do, talk to the people you're supposed to talk to, finish what needs finishing, and somehow you're still exhausted. Not because anything went wrong, just because being a person takes energy. More energy than people like to admit. There's a lot happening inside of you every day. Thoughts, decisions, responsibilities, little worries, big worries, things you remembered, even things that you forgot. Especially things you forgot. Conversations that keep replaying. Things you're looking forward to. Things that you're dreading. Even when you're sitting still, your mind is usually carrying more than anyone else can see. And if nobody acknowledged that today, I'd like to. Because sometimes people look at us and see what we're doing, but they don't really see us. They don't see everything we're carrying while we do it. Maybe today you're worried about something. Maybe you're trying not to show it. Maybe you smiled through it. Maybe you distracted yourself from it. Maybe you pushed it to the side because there wasn't enough time to deal with it. And that doesn't mean that it wasn't there. Carrying something so quietly is still carrying it. I think a lot of people underestimate how tired they truly are. Not physically, emotionally, mentally. The kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't immediately fix. The kind that comes from caring, from trying, from hoping, from worrying, from constantly thinking about what comes next. And if that's where you are tonight, you don't have to explain it. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to justify it. You don't need a perfect reason to feel tired. You can simply be tired. And you know what? That's allowed. I think we spend a lot of time believing we need permission for things. Permission to rest. Permission to slow down. Even permission to stop. Permission to say, I did enough for one day. But nobody really teaches us how to do that. So we keep going and going and going until we're lying awake at night, trying to recover from a day that ended hours ago. If that's you tonight, maybe this is your permission slip. Not forever, not for tomorrow, just for tonight. You don't need to solve everything before bed. You don't need to figure out your future before bed. You don't need to replay every conversation before bed. And you don't need to become a better version of yourself before bed. You can just rest for a little while. You don't have to think if you deserved it or not. If you earned it, you need it. This is what your body wants for you. The world will keep spinning. The emails will still exist. The deadlines will still exist. The unanswered questions will all still exist. And honestly, that's okay. Because tomorrow is where those things belong, not tonight. Tonight belongs to you. I know that can be difficult to believe, especially if you're someone who feels responsible for everything, or someone who worries about disappointing people, or someone who feels like they're always a little bit behind. But for the next few minutes, you don't have to carry all that. You can set it down, not permanently, just temporarily. Think of it like setting down a heavy backpack after a long walk. You're not throwing it away. You're not pretending it doesn't exist. You're just giving yourself a chance to rest your shoulders. And that's all. Maybe no one said this to you today, but you did make it through today. I know that sounds simple, almost too simple, but it's true. Whatever happened, whatever didn't happen, whatever went according to plan, or whatever completely ignored the plan, you made it here to this moment. And that's worth acknowledging. Sometimes we only celebrate huge victories, promotions, the achievements, the milestones, but there are quieter victories too. Getting through a difficult conversation, showing up when you didn't feel like it, taking care of yourself, trying again, continuing forward when things feel uncertain. Those things count, even when nobody sees them, even when nobody applauds, they still count. And maybe that's what I want you to remember tonight. Not that everything is perfect, not that life is easy, not that tomorrow will magically solve every problem. Just this. You are allowed to rest before everything is figured out. You are allowed to rest before every task is complete. You are allowed to rest before every worry disappears. Rest is not a reward for finishing life. It's something you need while you're living it. So if your eyes are getting a little heavier, good. If your thoughts are slowing down, even better. And if they're not, that's okay too. There's no test to pass here, no perfect way to relax, no perfect way to fall asleep. Just a quiet moment at the end of the day. A reminder that someone sees how hard being a human can be sometimes. And a reminder that you've cared enough for one night. So wherever you are, however today went, I hope you're warm, I hope you're comfortable, and I hope you're a little gentler with yourself than you've been all day. The rest can wait until morning. It'll still be there, but for now, you can rest. Good night, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.